So after watching the most recent trailer on Resident Evil 9, can we all just agree? Can we all just, sit here and come to an agreement that this isn't Resident Evil? Like, this isn't my Resident Evil. This is like a really buff man, putting on a dress.
Excuse me, it's ma'am. It is ma'am.
And heading down towards the women's restroom. Like, nigga, please. We both know you ain't a woman, okay? Just like how we both can look at this shit right here on the screen and be like, yeah, this isn't Resident Evil, okay? Yeah, maybe this is a spicy way to open up a YouTube video, but considering the fact that I'm a pretty big Resident Evil fan and have played every mainline game, as with most, spin-off games, I don't know if I'm being spicy enough, okay?
Everything Latina Parfait he says is based and correct.
So the new trailer opens up with Grace sitting on her bed, typing away on her laptop with her mom in the room. And this to me personally just screams Resident Evil, am I right? Like, what is this Life is Strange bullshit? Like, if the Resident Evil name wasn't attached to this game, nobody would ever guess in a million years this is a Resident Evil game, okay? Let's be honest.
Real talk.
So the power goes out and now it's like pitch black in the hotel you're in. So eventually you meet some bald guy and he gets killed, which for whatever reason your mother doesn't even attempt to shoot him since, she has a handgun after all. So you watch them wander around the halls some more, and then presumably at the end of the trailer your mom gets killed.
Oh, Grace. I promise you I will explain this all to you one of these days.
Great. Oh.
Grace. Please know that you are my hope.
This is fucking gay.
Mom, I'm scared. No. We need to find a way out of here now.
But we don't have any of our stuff.
We can come back for it later, Grace.
That's what you get. That's what you fucking get, bitch.
Then I'm guessing that's when you get the handgun, but I don't know, since that's when the trailer ends, which holy fucking shit, this looks just absolutely terrible. I'm gonna say this again, okay? But this isn't Resident Evil. Where are the zombies? Where is the action? Where's the shotgun and blowing off BOW's heads? People can cope all they want about Resident Evil 9 going back to their roots, but I don't remember having to follow around your mom or some NPC in the original Resident Evil probably for 5 to 10 minutes.
Exciting gameplay.
If we're going back to the roots, I don't know, maybe bring back the shit that made the series what it is, the zombies, but instead we are getting, from the looks of it, a shittier Resident Evil 7, which looks more like Amnesia than a Resident Evil game, which don't get me wrong, I do actually like Resident Evil 7, I think it's a pretty solid entry for the most part, well, the first half of the game that is. Yes, the game has a lot of issues from the lack of enemy variety, the mold monsters being extremely generic and boring, the second half with the boat being absolute and utter dog shit, but it still had soul, it still felt like Resident Evil to some extent. While on the other hand, Resident Evil 9, like from the looks of it, this looks even further from Resident Evil than 7 was. So there's another trailer of Resident Evil 9, which I don't know when it came out, but it's a more gameplay focused trailer, and despite this trailer actually showing, gameplay, which let's be real, the last trailer didn't show shit. Showing little snippets of the, the protagonist walking in a scripted sequence isn't gameplay, let's be real. This gameplay trailer is worse since, again, this isn't Resident Evil. The entire trailer is you just walking around with a lighter, searching for items, and playing hide and go seek with some sort of goofy ass looking monster. Like, if you're going to make a stalker-like monster that is supposed to, scare the player, maybe don't make the monster look absolutely retarded and special needs. When the monster, has Down syndrome and rides the short bus and has brain damage, it isn't really necessarily that scary, okay? Let's be honest. Let's keep it a $1.33. Take a look at Mr. X or Nemesis. They instill this level of fear and dread, but don't look inherently scary. Like, it's just a guy with a trench coat and hat, but I don't know, it just works. I also don't get this bullshit where every new Resident Evil game since RE2 Remake needs to have this stalker-like monster who needs to follow you and pursue you around the, the entire game and the maps. Yeah, it's fine when you do it for a game or two, but why does every game need to have this shit? Like, playing hide and go seek isn't Resident Evil. This is Amnesia. This isn't going back to its roots. When I or any real Resident Evil fan thinks of Resident Evil, or at least classic RE, what we imagine is survival horror with multiple different routes to get to a certain area where we need to plan out how to get from, point A to point B while taking the least amount of damage and using the least amount of ammo and, items. It's deciding whether to go the long route, which is more safe, or the short route, which is more dangerous. It's deciding whether or not to kill the zombie in your way and waste your precious resources and ammo, or try and run past the zombie, but at the cost of, maybe taking damage and having to use one of your healing items. For this amnesia bullshit, there is none of that. You want to know why? Because most of these encounters with the stalker enemy is, guess what, scripted. Are you going to be able to plan out a route or choose to waste your resources to take out the monster? No, since the motherfucker is going to spawn regardless. Can you kill it? No, since these stalker enemies are always invulnerable, so there's no decision to save ammo or take out the creature. Not to mention, you don't even have a fucking gun. Yes, I'm well aware this is probably early in the game, but even still, you can't claim we're going back to the roots of Resident Evil when there isn't a single classic RE game that exists where you don't at least get a fucking knife to defend yourself with. All you have is a lighter. You're playing hide and go fucking seek. This isn't scary. This isn't what anybody plays a Resident Evil game for. Even with classic RE3 with Nemesis, you didn't play hide and go seek with him. You had to actively run from the motherfucker. Oh, what the oh my god. It actually fucking, jump scared me. I wasn't expecting him to be on the side. Can you calm down? Fuck off. Oh my god, this guy's a bitch. Get up, Joe. Get the fuck up. Not to mention you could kill Nemesis and he'd drop resources and upgrades. Also, when did scripted bullshit and scripted events ever become scary? I guess when shitty horror indie games popularized them. I remember everybody shilling for the fetus section in RE8, for example, when you're in the basement and need to go back upstairs through the elevator, everybody was like, oh my god, dude, bro. Holy fucking shit, bro. Dude, this is so fucking scary. This is the most scary action game I've ever played. Oh my god. And I'm just sitting here, and thinking and going, in what fucking world? How's running in the opposite direction of which there's only one real way to go, and hiding, in the only spot that you can hide in, scary, especially when it's fucking scripted, and the same thing happens every single time you replay the fucking game. Now, is this monster going to be entirely scripted? Probably not, I don't know, but the point is scripted events and playing hide and go seek isn't scary, just like how this isn't Resident Evil. So yeah, you're wandering through the halls, the stalker creature will come out of the ceiling and she takes up the entire path, or at least that's what it looks like, meaning you probably won't even be able to run past this creature. What you're most likely going to have to do each time you encounter this thing is turn back and go into the room you just came from and find a spot to hide. Wow. Scary, am I right? The monster also seems to be afraid of light, which is a real new and cool concept, I'm not gonna lie. It's not like every other horror game does this exact same thing. I don't know, amnesia, which is what this game, fucking looks like. I'm sure I'm pissing off plenty of shills and dipshits, but I really don't care. I'll put more time in one singular Resident Evil game than most of these shills have put in, spanning across the entire series. Not to mention, even if this is only a portion of the game, okay? Even if, this is only a portion of the game, and the rest plays classic RE1 or RE2 remake or whatever, this does indeed in fact kill any and all replayability. Even if this game has zombies and actual enemies, the classic Resident Evil formula, it doesn't fucking matter, since every single time you replay the game, you're going to have to endure this absolute dogshit slop each time. Each subsequent playthrough, you're gonna have to redo these shit ass scripted encounters where the monster comes out of the ceiling. Oh my god, dude, how scary, and you need to head back to the previous room and hide in the corner till the monster leaves. Wait in the corner for 30 seconds till it fucking turns around. How is this fun? How is this engaging? I'll explain. It's not fun. It's not engaging. Nothing about this is engaging or fun. Literally nothing. Then you have the other trailer during the Summer Games Fest, which shows Grace in some sort of office job where some Tyrone comes up to talk to her, and then it shows the ruins and ashes of Raccoon City. Remove the Raccoon City part, okay, and just focus on the office part. There's nobody in a million fucking years who would ever guess this is Resident Evil. RE Engine, aside, obviously, since you probably could tell since every RE Engine game has every character having a very similar face. It's like people with Down syndrome. syndrome, you know? How they all look the same and all have extra chromosomes? Well, every character in the RE engine also seems to have an extra chromosome, because they all look, you know, the fucking same. But yeah, this is just a shorter video, and I just want to get this shit off my mind and, you know, and just talk about how I feel about this, you know, new Resident Evil game, and just explain my frustrations with modern RE, which I do like 7 for the most part. Like I said, 8 on the other hand is dog shit. 3 Remake is also probably one of the biggest piles of absolute dog shit ever to be fucking made in the entirety of the fucking universe. Okay, let's be honest. You know, like the video, subscribe, join the Latina Kingdom, and all that other bullshit. Next video might be a review on Lost Soul Aside. I don't know yet. Maybe it'll be Hollow Knight. Who the fuck knows? But yeah, hashtag not my Resident Evil.
Either subscribe, donate, or get the fuck out. Real talk.